Well, good morning, everybody. How you doing? Hello. Good morning. Welcome to the center. Hey, we're going to get started. We're going to have our little drum and chant session to open us up. So as you may know, there's drums and rattles and shakers and bangy things on the altar in the center of the room. By all means, grab something to make some noise with, or just use your voice, either way. Take a deep breath in and let go. Another deep breath in, letting go. We've been doing this one for a while. If you don't know it, you'll know it very soon, I promise. And the words will be on the screen here in just a moment. There they are. So, here we go. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour, and we recognize our sacred word. We have the power to transform the earth. That's the whole song. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour, and we recognize our sacred word. We have the power to transform the earth. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, now is the hour. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour, and we recognize our sacred word. We have the power to transform the earth. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour, and we recognize our sacred word. We have the power to transform the earth. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, now is the hour. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour, and we recognize recognize our sacred word. We have the power to transform the earth. Hey, you sound good. Hey, take a deep breath in. This is our observe and interact practice. So we take a moment, we observe, we look around the room, see who's here in the space with you. Oh, hey, there's people here. Okay, now we interact. We stand up, go say hello to someone, introduce yourself, welcome each other into the space. Maybe say hi to someone you don't know or have never met before. For those of you who are viewing us online, on YouTube and on Facebook, we're so grateful that you are here with us. Please do put your name and location in the chat. We want to know where you are. All right, everybody, let's find our way back to our seats. Do stay standing. Join your attention up here. Repeat after these folks. Let's get started.
Now look at the person next to you.
Look at the person next to you.
Say, I recognize the God in you.
I recognize the God in you.
Now feel the love in the sanctuary.
Feel the love in the sanctuary.
Lift your voice and repeat after me.
Lift your voice and repeat.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
Now look at the person next to you.
Now look at the person next to you.
Say, God loves you and I love you too.
God loves you and I love you too.
Now feel the love in the sanctuary.
Feel the love in the sanctuary.
Lift your voice and repeat after me.
Lift your voice and repeat.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love. Every walk of love. Every creed and color. In kinship we unite. To honor God and each other.
Look at the person next to you.
Now look at the person next to you.
Say namaste, I bow to you.
Now namaste and I bow to you.
Now feel the love in the sanctuary.
Feel the love in the sanctuary.
Lift your voice and repeat after me.
Lift your voice and repeat.
We come together.
We come together.
We come together.
We come together in the name of love.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
And so that's the CSL band, everybody. Give them a hand. And so good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Sunday morning celebration service here at Center for Spiritual Living Santa Cruz. If you haven't already, please do take this opportunity to turn your cell phone on silent, vibrate, or maybe just off for the next hour and a half. A special welcome to those of you who are viewing us on YouTube and on Facebook, and a special welcome to all of you here in the space. If you don't know me, I am Reverend Elisha Christopher. I'm the spiritual director here at the Center for Spiritual Living. My preferred pronouns are they and them, but you can call me whatever makes you feel comfortable. You're welcome. And my ancestors on my father's side immigrated to this country from Ireland and Scotland, and on my mother's side from Austria and Holland.
My name is Molly Salins. My pronouns are she and her, and my mother's parents came from Germany, and my father's parents from Russia and Lithuania. And I just want to say the CSL band just lifts my spirits like no other.
Every time.
And we have a really special morning planned for you. We have practitioner Sky Leona leading our spiritual practice, and practitioner Jessica Kreis is in the back of the room, holding us all in prayer throughout the service.
Thanks, Jess.
Thank you, Jess. Today's musical muse is Heather Houston and the Yala Lati Choir and the CSL Band. And our message will be delivered through Reverend Elijah Christopher.
And we have Molly Salins. Do stay after service for our potluck and social hour. And remember that this week after service is our community sing, our song circle with Heather Houston. Will be in this room after service today. Also, Dances of Universal Peace next week after service. Do know that we have our practitioners and ministers who are available to you for prayer after service. Should you want to celebrate or be lifted up in some way, raise your hands, practitioners and ministers. We've got Reverend Grace in the front. There's Shira, there's Lucy, there's Jessica, Sky, and myself. We are here to serve you. Should you need that, you can also put prayer requests in the prayer box, which is on the back table, and you can also send email prayer requests to prayer@cslsantacruz.org, and we will be happy to pray for you.
Okay, so please join us as we speak out loud together our mission, purpose, and vision. You should have that on your half sheets, and it's also going to be on the screen. Let's say this together mindfully.
Our mission is to provide spiritual tools for personal and global transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. Our vision is a world that works for everyone and for all life on earth. We are a community dedicated to possibility. Hey, we finally got that on your half sheets for you, so we could all read that together, which is fantastic. Hey, in order to live out our mission, vision, and purpose, we've been weekly reading our inclusion statement, which actually comes from our global organization of Centers for Spiritual Living. So I invite you just to take in these words. It's also on your half sheet if you'd like to follow along. We stand with all of the centers of spiritual living around the world, grounded in the knowing that the teachings of Ernest Holmes speak directly to liberty, equality, equity, inclusion, human rights, compassion, safety, self-determination, and spiritual living. For that reason, we are unambiguously in support of the lives of Black, Indigenous, and people of color. Yes. Unambiguously in support of gender equity and equality. Yes. Unambiguously in support of LGBTQI+ lives, and unambiguously in support of women being the sole decision makers about their lives, well-being, dignity, and choices.
Yes. So we're coming to our land acknowledgement. Please take a moment to feel the ground beneath your feet and take a deep breath in and out. And so we begin our morning by acknowledging that the land on which we gather is the unceded territory of the Awaswas speaking Upi tribe, the Ama Mutsun tribal band. Please join me in a moment of silence to honor the ancestral and current struggle of the original people of this land.
Thank you. And so thank you everyone for choosing to be here with us this morning. I'm going to invite up Heather Houston and Yala Lati to take us a little deeper into what we're here to do today. Let's welcome them up.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So good to be here with you all. This opening chant we're going to do is by Alexandra Blakely, who will be with us this afternoon, actually, for our song circle. She's here from Seattle area, so I hope you'll join us. This is called Net of Remembrance, and we're going to invite you to sing with us. So we'll sing it through one time, and then I'll lead you in the parts.
Everyone feels and carries different parts of the story, and together we weave the net of remembrance. We are not made, we are not created to hold this all alone. Everyone feels and carries different parts of the story.
Repeat that.
Everyone feels and carries different parts of the story, and together we weave the net of remembrance. And together we weave, and together we weave the net of remembrance. And together we weave the net of remembrance. And together we weave the net of remembrance. And together we are not made, we are not created to hold this all alone. And together we are not made, we are not created to hold this all alone. And together we are not made, we are not created to hold this all alone. And together we are not made, we are not created to hold this all alone.
We are not made, if you know it.
We are not made, we are not created to hold this all alone.
At this point in time, I'd like to take an opportunity to introduce myself in a little more thorough manner. My name is Sky Leona, and I'm a licensed practitioner here at the Center for Spiritual Living. I've been here for 22 years. I know. And of those 22 years, I went through the various trainings that we have going on here, and I became a licensed practitioner 16 years ago. So I'm I can't tell you how much it means to me to be part of this community. And I'm so, so grateful to be able to give you the services that I can. And it gives me great pleasure. So every Sunday that I'm here, I'm always available to sit with you. Don't forget that. Every one of us love doing it. I'm also an adult education facilitator, and I've been doing the trainings here at the center for the last 16 years. Many of them I share with the other practitioners that are here also. I also am a facilitator for the spiritual living circles. That activity happens 2 Wednesdays a month, the second and the fourth Wednesdays. This month we're actually going to do the fourth one actually on the 30th. And we get readings from the home office, and in those readings we find questions to contemplate. We get together and we have discussions. And it's really a lively activity, and many of us in the audience here today have been participating for quite a while now. I also facilitate art as a spiritual practice, and I do group sessions. So if you think you'd like to get together with a bunch of friends to do some work in a way that is very meditative, contact me. I'm available. Then I do spiritual counseling after service during the week. It's a 1-hour session, and I'm available for that service as well based on my training. And I am also available for memorial services. So at this time, thank you for listening. I appreciate that very much. And this time now we're going to go ahead and do a spiritual practice, spiritual mind treatment. And Shira, would you begin giving us about a minute's worth? Following the sound of the bowls into a moment of silence. With that first breath, know it as the first breath for the rest of your life. For this is the moment, the beginning moment. And in this moment, let us recognize together that there is one absolute existence in which we all participate. That entire field of potential and possibilities available to us as we turn to it. So let us know that in this very moment, we are creating a sacred space where that potential and possibility exists for each and every one of us as individualized expressions. Bring into your heart and intention to be the best that you know how to be, because it is and always has been a gift. I am so blessed to know this community intimately over all these years. And I know that as each of us join together, we have an intrinsic power to name our good. And we are naming it now, today, here. This is a fantastic, amazing day. Own it. Inhale it. Notice beauty. Be available for laughter. This is who we are. Life is like that and can be like that whenever we choose. So I'm inviting each of us here today to turn to the more of us, that excellent steward of mind, body, and spirit. Claim it today and every day from now on. You are who you are looking for and have always been. That sweet, innocent, beautiful soul. I'm feeling blessed, knowing who and what we are. I release these words now with great expectations, and let us say together, and so it is.
Okay, thank you, Sky. Beautiful. This is a song by Samara Jade and her band Three Wheels Turning. And it's about letting go of those old stories. Anyone have any old stories they are ready to let go of as the leaves fall from the trees this fall? Raise your hand. Okay, great. We're in good company. Let's do it. You ready?
These old stories, give them to the river, watch them float downstream, back to the sea. These old stories, give them to the river, they got no more power over me. These old stories, give them to the fire, watch them up in smoke, away they float. These old stories, give them to the fire, they got no more power over me. These old stories have been running the show, the record player voices that seem to think they know what's real, what's possible, what I should be. These old stories got no power over me. These old stories, give them to the soil, watch them break on down, return to the ground. These old stories, give them to the soil, they got no more power over me. These old stories, give them to the wind, watch them dissipate as they float away. These old stories, give them to the wind, they got no more power over me. These old stories have been running the show, the record player voices that seem to think they know what's real, what's possible, what I should be. These old stories got no power over me. These old stories, give them to the past. That's where they were born, and now they're outworn. These old stories, give them to the past, they got no more power over me. These old stories have been running the show, the record player seem to think they know what's real, what's possible, what I should be. These old stories got no power over me. These old stories got no power over me. These old stories got no power over me.
Well, that was yummy. Well, if you're like me and just cannot get enough of Heather Houston and these lattes, know that you can stay after service for the Song Circle, and they're also having their winter concert here next month, 10th and 11th? 10th and 11th. So you can see Heather if you want to get tickets for that as well, because there's more opportunities for more and more music. Let's take a breath, shall we? Breathe in. And let it go. Another deep breath in. Let go. One more time, deep breath. Let go. So, guess what? We're going to talk about gratitude. Hey, it makes sense, right? And, raise your hand if you are interested in knowing that there's something that you could do that could lessen your experience of pain and strengthen your immune system. Anybody interested in feeling more compassionate and being generally more happy? Okay, practice gratitude. 'Tis all you have to do. The biology, the neuroscience tells us that when we focus on gratitude, when we really not only just name the things that we're grateful for, but actually bring our mind and body into a state of feeling that gratitude, we can lessen our experience of pain. That continuous experience of turning our mind to gratitude, being grateful, feeling good about the things that are coming our way, guess what? You get a little shot of dopamine in your brain. We all love that one. And that actually has positive effects on all of your cells, on every system in your body, right? And that the contemplation of gratitude, looking to that which is working, looking to that which supports us, looking to that which makes us feel whole, happy, healthy, and all of that, leads to a greater sense of well-being. Over time, engaging in these practices supports us feeling better. Does anybody want to feel better? I think we do, right? And so, this month, our permaculture theme we've been exploring is this idea of catching and storing energy. And all month long, we're talking about the ways, the practices, the things that we can do to help us harness the energy that we need in order to live sustainable lives, but also to be powerful and effective people in the world, in our communities, to be uplifting and positive presences of possibility for those around us, right? And so we started off this month talking about self-care, and how important it is for all of us to, in a sense, put ourselves first so that we have the regenerative energy, the rest and the recuperation that we need so that we can show up to all the things that we're passionate about, right? But it has to start with taking care of ourselves. Everybody got to watch me get sick last month and take some time off because I wasn't doing that. So I'm inviting you to do the thing so you don't have to get sick and take time off. Because if we preemptively take care of ourselves, we're healthier, we're stronger, we're able to continuously show up for what we're here for, right? Last week we talked about the idea that community is also one of those things that supports us. That no one of us can stand alone, that we cannot thrive by ourselves. Even though our American mythology has told us that we're supposed to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and do it all on our own and stand up all strong, that doesn't work. Right? We are community beings. Humans are mammals, we are pack animals, we are meant to be together. And it's when we're together, when we lean into each other, when we have the support of each other, that we can truly thrive. That we can truly heal, that we can truly find the vulnerability that's necessary to open our hearts, to see things differently. right? And so this week I want us to then kind of turn that attention back to ourselves and remember that there is an invitation here for us to cultivate gratitude every opportunity we get. Because it's plenty easy to have our minds pulled all over the place. If you pay attention to the news and to current events and things that are happening in the world, like I do, there's plenty of things to not feel grateful for. There's plenty of things that are saying, be angry, be afraid, be upset. And when I look at those things, what happens? Do I get a little shot of dopamine when I'm afraid? No. It goes the other direction, right? And we know that when we're in fear, when we're in pain, when we're in shutdown, the brain does not have the ability to see outside of a particular moment. That when we're in fear, when we're in pain, that mind goes into fight or flight. We are stuck looking at what's right in front of us. But when we're able to cultivate a practice of looking at what is working, of looking at the possible, of looking at the things that we are truly grateful for, these kinds of practices open our mind. It's in that state of feeling better that we're able to see possibility, that we're able to see outside of a moment, that we're able to see that there might be another choice that we didn't see before. But we have to do the work to maintain our perspective, to maintain our mind, to maintain our awareness, so that we are people who are constantly choosing what we are looking at. Because what we know is that what we appreciate appreciates. What we look to, we see more of. What we look for, we will find. Right? And in the midst of a world that wants to pull our attention 1,000 different directions, we have to be the ones who choose what we're looking at. Right? And I don't need you to only look at nice, pretty, beautiful, wonderful things. There's a lot of stuff out there that needs your attention that you have to look at. There's a whole lot that we have to say, hey, that's not working. I don't like that. How can we fix that? We have to look at those things. And we have to move the balance of our mind so that there are more thoughts looking at what's working than what's not, right? We've all seen what the difference of balance of power is between 49 and 51, right? If we just have 51 votes for what we want, that's what moves everything in the direction of our choice, right? And so if we can just tip the balance of our minds, I'm not telling you it has to be 100% all the time, happy thoughts, gratitude, but could you make it 51% of the time? Right? Just tip the scales just a little bit, because the moment you tip from 50-50 or this too much on this side, once you tip the scales to that 51, guess what? It's all going to start to lean this way. And that's just a 1% shift, right? If we can just move the ball 1%, it's going to change the balance of everything, right? And so there's all kinds of stuff in our lives and in the world that's going to pull our attention, all of the 49% stuff. But we have to choose where we prioritize our attention, right? Because we can notice that the environment looks like it's collapsing, that thousands of species are dying off every day, but we can also focus on the fact that humanity is coming up with solutions to these issues. That we've been talking about permaculture all year long. We've been talking about learning to live sustainable lives. We can start looking around and see that even though it looks like our country might be moving in one direction, and there's been a lot of pushback to a lot of the things that we stand for, guess what? We can also look and see that Congress is becoming more diverse than it's ever been before. That we're electing women and people of color to positions that they've never been allowed to hold. That we are shifting directions. That even though there's pushback, even though there is things that we want to look at that we say, that's not working, we can also look the other direction and say, wait a minute, but look what else is happening. Look at all the good that's bubbling up right next to all this bad that seems to be bubbling up. But if I feed this one more, guess what I'm going to get more of? This one, right? And so we have to choose, what are we doing with our attention? And gratitude is one of those things that maybe you could just set aside 5 minutes a day at the end of the day and just stop and think about, what are 3 things that you are truly grateful for that day in your life or in the world? And why are you grateful for those things? And then take a moment and actually allow yourself to feel that gratitude, right? Because I talk to a lot of people who say, I do a gratitude practice. I make a list of 10 things every day that I'm grateful for. But do you stop and feel them? Or is it just a list? Does the practice become passive, or is it active? Are you actively engaged in cultivating gratitude, or is it something that's just become part of a process, right? And if you're not doing it at all, here's an invitation to start, right? Because we know that if we choose what we focus on, if we cultivate a mind that is looking for the good, we will begin to see it. And when we choose to engage a practice like that, and we do it every single day, over time, all spiritual practices, they change the wiring in our brain. They change the network. They change how things operate. And so it may be difficult to start, to say, you know what, the world is falling apart, I'm in pain, everything is terrible, and then to go to, and I'm so grateful. Right? So it might feel like a stretch in the beginning, but guess what? You have to stretch. You ever worked out, ever done yoga? Stretching is important, right? We have to move to the edge of what's comfortable. We have to move to the edge of what we know. And that's going to take us engaging in some practices and really trying to cultivate this awareness for ourselves. And so maybe just start with some very simple gratitudes. Are you grateful for the privilege of living where you live? Are you grateful that there's not a war going on where you live? Are you grateful that there is food available to you every single day? You can start with the simple stuff and just pay attention to how much we truly have. You know, if you are sitting in this room, if you are living in Santa Cruz, you are among the most privileged people on the planet. Let's be grateful for that. Right? And then to take and acknowledge what we have and cultivate gratitude for what we have, and then figure out what we can do with it to support more and more good emerging in the world. We all have so much. And the least we can do is begin to just cultivate a sense of gratitude for what it is that we already have. And as we do that, we will start to see how much we do really have. And as we cultivate that awareness more and more and more, perhaps we might even start to see the absolute awe-inspiring beauty that surrounds us everywhere we go. You know, my friend Edika Luckett, when she was alive, she's a musician who has really deeply influenced the Science of Mind movement over the course of her life. She had a song, and one of the lines of that song was, "If you're not in awe, you are not paying attention." Because life is a miracle. The fact that your body is breathing itself without your attention is a miracle. There is something greater than we are that lives in each one of us. Could we just notice it? You know, in our opening song, we say, "Namaste, I bow to you." That simple line is about acknowledging that there is something more inside of the person you are looking at. That there is a greater presence, an infinite spirit, a possibility that is looking back at you through each other's eyes. And so we cultivate the awareness of looking for that presence in each other. And if we cultivate an awareness of looking for things to be grateful for, looking for that awe-inspiring beauty, looking to all that we have, and just saying thank you. You know, Meister Eckhart, one of the mystic from 500 or so years ago, said, if the only prayer you ever pray is thank you, that would be enough. Right? Can we just start with recognizing that gratitude is just a base practice? We call it a spiritual practice, but really it's just a basic human practice for health and well-being. That if we can just look to gratitude, the beautiful sunny day outside, this warm, welcoming community. The music, the inspiration, the connections. Just right here in this room, there is so much for us to be grateful for if we're willing to look to it. And I think that more than anything, what our world needs right now is people who are willing to look at each other and say thank you. People who are willing to look at what's unfolding in the world and see that there is good unfolding. It may not be everywhere we look, but I guarantee you, if you look for it, you'll find it. So take a deep breath in and let it go. Take another deep breath. Allow your eyes to gently close if that feels comfortable to you, and take another deep breath. And as we breathe into this moment, I just invite each of us into a time of contemplation. To first just notice that there is something greater than you are that is breathing your body and beating your heart. That there is a life force, that there is a love force inside of each one of us. And how beautiful it is to remember that in all of the great grandeur of this glorious infinite universe, there's only one thing happening. And that one thing is what I call God. But perhaps we just label it as consciousness or the life of the universe or energy. But I claim in this moment that there is one seamless presence that is living and breathing throughout the entirety of the universe. And it is this one who is unfolding in, through, and as everyone and everything all the time. In every situation, in every unfolding circumstance, in every life, this one is evolving and revealing itself. And so let us breathe that in and just remember in this moment that each one of us is truly blessed, that we have so much to be grateful for. And so let us be grateful for these miraculous bodies that allow us to play at the activity of life. Let us be grateful for all that each one of us has that allows us to live the lives and the lifestyles and the opportunities that we are able to. Let us be grateful for this beautiful community that supports each one of us. Let us be grateful for the collective evolution that is unfolding in the world around us. And so I just speak a word here and now this day that each one of us takes this opportunity and begins to claim more and more and more of what we are grateful for. Recognizing that when we look, for it, it's there, waiting for us, looking for us. And so let us just be in gratitude this morning for the opportunity to be in community with each other, to remind ourselves how much there truly is for us to be grateful for. And then open our hearts and minds, knowing that there could be even more for us to be grateful for. And so let us live in that continuous celebration and in the expectancy of the more showing up for us. As we seek greater possibilities, as we seek to build a world that works, as we seek to heal ourselves, to heal the land, to heal our nation. Let us begin with gratitude. And allow that love to wash over us in everything we do. And so for all of this and so much more, I just say yes. I say thank you. And so it is. And so take another deep breath in. And I'm going to invite Heather and Yalalati back up to sing us up a little bit more. Thank you.
Thank you, Elisha. On the theme of gratitude, we are going to sing a song to you by Emily Roblin, who lives in the UK. And it's called Glory to the Sun, arranged in a traditional gospel form. She felt inspired to bring praise to the earth, to the sun, to the water. And this is Glory to the Sun.
Oh, glory to the sun as it shines upon my face. Oh, glory to the seas flowing through the rivers of my veins. Oh, glory to the wind on the breath of which I sing. Oh, glory to the earth that I'll return to in the end. Oh, glory to the sun as it shines upon my face. Oh, glory to the seas flowing through the rivers of my veins. Oh, glory to the wind on the breath of which I sing. Oh, glory to the earth that I'll return to in the end. Oh, glory to the sun as it shines upon my face. Oh, glory to the seas, the rivers of my veins. Oh, glory to the wind on the breath of which I sing. Oh, glory to the earth that I'll return to in the end. Oh, glory to the sun as it shines on my face. Oh, glory to the seas flowing through the rivers of my veins. Oh, glory to the wind on the breath of which I sing. Oh, glory to the earth that I'll return to in the end. Oh, glory to the sun as it shines upon my face. Oh, glory to the seas flowing through the rivers of my veins. Oh, glory to the wind on the breath of which I sing. Oh, glory to the earth that I'll return to in the end. That I'll return to in the end. That I'll return to in the end.
Take a deep breath. You feeling inspired? Feeling uplifted? You feeling grateful? Hey, well, then this is the opportunity to cultivate even more gratitude and more to feel good about. I'm going to invite the ushers to come forward. This is the time in our service for our conscious giving, where we get to invest in this community and all that is happening here. Every gift supports this happening and happening more, and it's just so exciting to see what's happening in this place. So I thank you in advance. As you pull out those gifts, as the ushers prepare themselves, place your hand near your heart and repeat after me. For all that I am, for all that I have, for all that I give, and for all that I receive, I am grateful.
You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are, and all we do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart. I am the heart. I am the hands. I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am, and all I do is a blessing to the world. Is a blessing to the world.
And so let us just remember that each one of us is a blessing to this world. And so I just give a word of thanks and gratitude for each and every gift given that makes this community what it is, that allows us to thrive and continue to evolve. Whether those gifts are financial, whether it is the gifts of time, talent, energy, so much more. All of it goes into making us who we are. And so from this space of gratitude, I then speak a word of blessing on every prayer in our prayer box that has come in through all of the ways that prayer requests come to our practitioners and ministers. I know that there is so much that we are holding for this community, and that there is so much healing and love being asked for, and so may all that is being asked for be received. And so specifically for anyone in this space, let us continue to magnify this energy we've built here together today. For anyone seeking healing in the physical body in any way, I invite you right now simply to stand up into your willingness to receive that template of wholeness to wash over you. For anyone who's seeking healing in the areas of finances, prosperity, or abundance, I invite you to stand right now into your willingness for that good to just wash into your life. For anyone seeking healing in the areas of love, relationship, or forgiveness, I invite you to stand and place a hand on your heart in the willingness just to receive that love. And for anyone and for all of us, if we are willing to stand into the gratitude, to look for what is working, and to allow it to multiply in our lives, let us just simply say yes. Yes. And now, if there is anyone on your heart or in your mind who you want to include in this energy we cultivate here together today, I invite you to simply speak their names out loud right now. And so as the names continue to whisper through our collective mind, I just speak a word of yes, a word of activation, a word of love and healing over all of this, knowing that something wonderful is seeking to express through each one of us, through this community, and through the possible future of humanity on this planet. I know that evolution is calling us towards the more, and so let it lead us, let us say yes, and let us let it be. And so it is. Thank you, my friends. Have a seat. Molly, come on up. We have a few more things to tell you once I find the other microphone. There it is. There you are. All right. So we have a few announcements for you. We're going to run through a few things, but before we get into all the fun stuff that's coming up, I want to remind you that we are in the middle of what we are calling our Count Me In campaign. This is our invest, engage, enroll process that we've been doing each year at this time of year that we call the Season of Harvest. And this is really about collecting all of this community energy to allow us to step into next year really ready to thrive, ready to grow. And so as you walked in, you probably received a number of things, one of which is a calendar that tells you all the things that are happening here in November and December. So please take those home, put them on your fridge, participate in all that's happening here. You also have the Count Me In card, which is an opportunity to share about your passions and the ways that you might want to participate in this community. Many people here have gifts, and we want to know what those are so that we can find a way to plug you in so that we can all support each other. And then there's also the invest card. So we used to call those pledge cards. We like investing. It's a more fun word. And so we're inviting all of us to invest into this community and to state what it is that we might be able to give towards next year so that we can really plan for our programming and all the things that we're seeking to do. And so before we jump into the rest of the announcements, I want to invite up Nancy Laskajian really quickly. And you hand her that mic for a second. Nancy is a longtime member of this community, someone who's a financial supporter, and someone who loves participating in this community so much that even after she finished service on the board, she still comes to all the board meetings and just can't stop herself. And so I want to just invite Nancy up to tell you a little bit about why she believes in this community and why you continue to support us so actively.
Thank you, Elijah. It is really true. I still come to the board meetings. Count me in. Oh, I am Nancy Laskajian. My pronouns are she, her. And my ancestors on both sides of my family, my mother and my father, are from historic Armenia, which is now Turkey. Count me in. I love the theme this year. Together we thrive, and we do it by engaging, enrolling, and investing. We are a community of wonderful people here who care about each other. Whether you're giving as a volunteer on the garden team, the tech team, taking a class, find your place here, and you can make a difference in the life of the center. And in turn, the activities and teachings of the center will make a difference in your life. They made a tremendous difference in my life. You may have heard me tell this story before, but it's fun to repeat it again today. Well, fun, I don't know. Quite simply, this teaching and the practitioners who serve us saved my life when I had a medical emergency, a subdural hematoma. Through 3 weeks of rest, spiritual mind treatment, visualization with the practitioners, something quite remarkable happened. Something that my neurosurgeon said rarely happens. The bleeding in my brain disappeared without surgery. It completely disappeared thanks to the spiritual mind treatment of my practitioners and our visualization that the bleeding was disappearing. So I know the kind of difference this community has made in my life, and it gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. I became a member, I enrolled, and I was able to serve the community in more important ways, like joining the Board of Trustees, serving as treasurer and president. And finally, I'm proud to say that I invest in our center as a sustaining member, which means that each month my gift, my investment, is automatically transferred from my bank account to the CSL's bank account. Easy peasy, don't have to think about it. I know that for any nonprofit to thrive, it needs people who are willing to make a financial investment. In fact, I've also included CSL Santa Cruz in my estate plans. When I die, which is going to happen to all of us, a percentage of my estate will be bequeathed to CSL Santa Cruz to help ensure it into the future. I did this because I've seen the difference our teaching made in my life. The other reason I'm a sustaining member is because I believe in our leadership, and particularly Reverend Elijah's vision of a world that works for all. I know, as I hope you know, the size of your gift is not important because it's relative to your circumstances. What is important is that you make an investment. It's so important to have the funds that we can count on. I hope you'll consider where you want to engage next and join me by investing or even increasing your investment in CSL Santa Cruz. It's a very exciting time to be part of this community, and together we can realize a new vision for our world. The possibilities are endless. Thank you.
Thanks, Nancy. Thank you. And so, I also wanted to ask Molly really quickly. Molly's someone who's jumped up here recently, who's been involving herself in doing the announcements with us, and is also someone who, I think on your first day when you came here, just over a year ago, said, "I'm home." And you've been here pretty much every Sunday ever since, and now doing all the things here. So just wanted to ask you maybe a little bit about what is it that made you say yes?
So, like most of you, I've been a seeker my whole life, and I have never fit into a spiritual community, no matter how much I looked. And in December 2020, I moved from Massachusetts back to my home state of California, and in June of 21, ended up in Santa Cruz. I'm also really, really, really into Dr. Joe Dispenza. I also want to tell you about my brother, Josh Michael Salins, whose heart was as generous and as open, as kind as his anger and insensitivity. And he was controversial in the family and in his life, and among his many, many gifts was music. And I was the woo-woo child who left California. I was the spiritual woo-woo kid. And I always got my brother, no matter how angry he became. And in the last 5-7 years of his life, he would call me and he would ask about love. He would ask about compassion. And he would talk about the church he had joined in San Jose. And we got deeper and deeper into our conversations. He did pass in 2020. I miss him desperately. In October of 21, I was scheduled to go see Dr. Joe Dispenza all the way in Turkey. And Marcia, Heath, and Brian, who were my neighbors, and the only two people I knew in Santa Cruz, told me that I needed to come here and listen to the sermons. And when I walked in, a week before I was to leave for Turkey, Elijah was Dr. Joe. He was speaking my heart and mind. I could not believe what I was hearing. The other thing I want to tell you about my brother was when he was around, my mother was a classical pianist, and when he was around 10 or 11, he figured out how to play Scarlatti on his head. He would bang his fist on his head and open his mouth, and Scarlatti would come out. Okay, so this is 21, he's been gone a year. I walk into this church on the very first day, I listen to Elijah, I'm like, oh my God, and people are greeting me as if I'm their long-lost sister. Anthony doesn't know this, but toward the end of the morning, He's at the piano. He's playing classical music. And he starts to play Scarlatti. And then I realized that CSL was the church in San Jose that my brother had attended, and that had changed his life, had turned his anger into the generous heart that he was. And in my last conversation with him, and I didn't know it would be my last conversation, he said to me, "Molly, it's all about gratitude." And then as I'm leaving, I meet Tamara. We become instant friends as I start to talk to her about Dr. Joe. The sincerity and the reality of the people who are here, they walk their talk. Elijah really walks his talk, and you really set an example for me and for I know the people I'm here.
Thanks,
so thank
Molly.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. And so as we go through this Count Me In time, we're getting to hear a little bit of stories from different folks each week. We're going to run through. Molly's going to tell you about our upcoming Artisan Boutique.
We are having an artisan boutique on Saturday and Sunday, December 3rd and 4th. Saturday it's from 10 to 2, and Sunday it's from 12 to 3. I have a table. I want people to join me. Come on.
And we have these flyers around. You can grab one. Do join us for that.
And we have a holiday party Friday, December 16th at 6 p.m. You've got to come celebrate with us. The food is going to be delicious. The entertainment is going to be hilarious. And please join us.
And if you were here for the holiday party last year, we had way too much fun. We plan on doing it again. We also have a winter solstice service coming up on December 21st. That's a Wednesday evening from 6 to 7:30. We'll have our candlelight winter solstice service welcoming in the dark time of the year. Remember, we also have an open mic on December 9th. That's the second Friday in December. I want to invite Adora to come up really quickly. There's the gratitude retreat. Come on up. So there's a reclaiming gratitude retreat this week coming up. It's going to start with a potluck. There's going to be dances and meditation. Adora, tell us a little bit about that.
Hello. Can you hear me? Yes. Well, I'm delighted to be able to bring one of my most favorite teachers here for the Thanksgiving weekend, and she changed it to Reclaiming Gratitude, and I wanted to read a little bit about the flyer first. So it says, Reclaiming Gratitude Satsang with Anahata Irada, meditation, music, movement, merriment, deep diving with Anahata Irada, beloved teacher, guide, and friend. I want to say she's one of the most delightful people you'll ever meet. She's English and has a lovely English accent. She carries merriment in her heart. And I wanted to tell you that you could come to any part of the weekend. It's starting with a potluck on Thanksgiving, and we have a sign-in sheet there, so we'll know who's coming. And that starts at 4:30 on Thursday. That evening, at 7 will be Dances of Universal Peace. She created a dance about Chief Seattle, and we'll be doing that. Friday, it's from 10 to 9:30, and we'll be providing dinner. And Saturday, it's 10 till 6. And I just want to say she has a Tibetan Buddhist background, and her meditations are the most sublime. She teaches us with our mind, our body, our emotions, with guided visualizations, and you're able to drop to such a deep place. Her voice, she is amazing. She can carry so many tunes and writes songs of spirit, and then she creates dances for these songs. So I'm encouraging you to come to any part of it or all of it. You will be delighted.
So there's a whole weekend of gratitude, prayer, and meditation available to you this weekend, should you want to join. Thanks, Adora. We want to remind you that there is lots and lots happening here at the center. Do check those calendars, check the e-news, check the website. Keep yourself tuned in as to all the things that are happening here.
Okay, so we have the Sunday potluck alphabet system. Thank you to everyone whose last names began M through R who brought food today. Please stay for lunch. And next week, people with last names S to Z. It's your turn. Bring your Thanksgiving leftovers.
All right, and we want to say a big thanks to Ellen and Chris in the kitchen who've been setting stuff up all morning. And we want to remind you that we need help we, Ellen, all of us, needs your help cleaning up the kitchen after service today. So I need 4 volunteers to raise their hands right now to tell me you're going to stay after service and help clean the kitchen. I got 1. I need 3 more. I have 3. I need 1 more. Thank you. We have 4 people who committed to helping clean up after service today. Do clean up after yourselves, and then these folks will help tidy up the kitchen at the end. Great big thanks to everyone for being here. Thanks to the band, to Heather Houston and Yalalati. Thank you to Susan Pankratz and Mohini Peters in the back. Thanks to Jessica and Sky, Molly and me, to you, to everyone on Facebook. Stand up. We've got 1 closing song. Come on up, folks. Thanks for being here. We love you.
Think about it. There must be higher love down in the heart or hidden in the stars above. Without it, life is wasted time. Look into your heart and I'll look inside mine. Things look so bad everywhere in this whole world. What is fair? We walk the line and try to see, falling behind what could be here. Bring me a higher love. Bring me a higher love. Oh, bring me a higher love. 'Cause it's a higher love that I've been thinking of. World's turning and we're just hanging on, facing our fears and standing out there alone. Yearning, and it's real to me. There must be someone out there feeling me. Things look so bad everywhere in this whole world. What is fair? We walk the line and try to see, falling behind what could be. Bring me a higher love. Bring me a higher love. Whoa. Bring me a higher love. 'Cause it's a higher love that I've been thinking of. Okay, everybody, put your hands together for this part. Come on. Bring me a higher love. Bring me a higher love. Oh, bring me a higher love. 'Cause it's a higher love that I've been thinking of. Bring me a higher love. Bring me a higher love. Whoa. Bring me a higher love. It's a higher love that I've been thinking of. Bring me a higher love. Bring me a higher love. Whoa. Bring me a higher love. 'Cause it's a higher love that I've been thinking of. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Join us in the social hall. Thank you.